Okay, the first thing that we need to work on is the bike setup and how to set our members up so that they're sitting on the bikes and cycling with great technique. Alright, so there's a couple of things that we need to work on. First of all, the mechanics of a bike. All of these stationary bikes will have seats that will either alternate or they'll vary in height, either up or down, forward or back, and then also the same with the handlebars. They will move up or down, and most bikes move forward or back through the handlebars. Okay, so we want to set people up for the class so that they're in great position. So the first thing I want you to look at is this. Every stationary bike will have two bases, one at the front, one at the back. I want you to get your members to stand with the heel on the back base, stand up nice and tall, and as a rough guide, the seat height should sit about their hip height. So as you can see, hopefully you can see from this, that seat is sitting quite a bit lower than my hip height. So I need to adjust the height of that. Lock it in. And now my seat height is sitting roughly in line with my hip, which is going to set me up with the correct seat height. The second thing we need to do is make sure that the distance between our seat and our handlebars is correct. And how I like to do that is take the elbow, or the point of my elbow, just sit it on the front end of the saddle and slide down, and I want my little pinky finger to just touch the handlebars. So as you can see there, I'm just touching the handlebars, which is again a very, very rough guide to let me know that my handlebars are not too far away from my body. If they are, then I end up in this position here, which looks like that. And if they're too close, then I'm kind of sitting in here and my knees will end up hitting the handlebars, which is not what we want. There is one other cue that I can give you to make sure that the seat height, or the distance between the seat and the handlebars, is correct. And it's basically doing this. If you take your knees or your feet and bring them so that they're at 3 or 9 o'clock, you should be able to look straight down and your knees should be in line with the axle of the pedals. Okay? If it's too far forward, then you're too close to the handlebars and you need to push the seat back. If you can see clearance between where your knee is and it's too far back from the axle of the pedals, then you need to take your seat height and slide it forward a little. Okay? So we're almost there, guys. The third thing that we need to look at is the handlebar height. And this is all varied and is really, really optional based on what you're doing. If you've got somebody new that's in your class, then I would recommend taking the handlebar height and lifting it nice and high. So if they're sitting in this position here, all you really want them to do is take their hands out in front, slightly tip forward, and the handlebar should sit in that position there. Okay, if you've got experienced cyclists, then normally they'll take their handlebars, or they'll take their saddle, they'll push straight out in line, and they'll take their handlebars maybe 2 to 5 centimeters lower than their saddle, so they're in a really solid racing or sprinting position when they get into the working phases. That is the bike setup.